Jan and I decided to go to the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse and maybe think about climbing it. It looks okay from a distance, but the closer you get, the taller it gets. And when we saw the sign about climbing it, it made me pause for a minute. There are 248 spiral steps up to the top, the equivalent of climbing the stairs in a 12-story building. No air conditioning, very hot, they say. And there was a sign nearby that said there was a 98 heat index that day. Looking up from the bottom, it really looks tall, but Jan kind of insisted, well, we're this far, let's go ahead and climb it. So I decided to take a picture of her standing out in front of the lighthouse and then handing off the camera to her so she could take me a picture standing there as well, so we could document the fact that we were there. If we didn't climb, we at least were there at the bottom. But she said, we're here, let's go ahead and do it. So there she goes up the steps to the base. And we get ready to walk inside, hoping it's not going to be swelteringly hot. Actually, there was a little breeze from the window, so it wasn't as hot as we thought it might be. A lot of people ahead of us going up and sometimes down the stairs. There's a stop at every 31 steps, so that was an encouraging sign. When we got to the first level, we were just about treetop level, and there's a little window to look out of at each level, too. So we look out, there we are, just about treetop level. Looking around, the stairs are daunting. They're pretty steep, but there's a nice handrail, and they're awfully solid, so it was going to be okay. Looking down, we hadn't come far yet. Looking up, we had a long, long way to go, but let's continue our journey. Now we're a bit above treetop level, maybe twice as tall as the trees below, and there's those steps. They look the same wherever you are. You can't tell how high you are, how low you are. You can't really notice that the thing is getting narrower as you walk. Now quite a bit above the trees, and you can see the ocean there, not that far away, about a quarter mile, but you couldn't see it from the lower levels. But this is the first level. We could see it just about halfway up. Continuing our climb, continuing on until we get all the way to the top. Jan is just at the bottom of a little 12-step staircase going to the level where the observation deck is, which is just below the light itself. You can't go actually up to where the light was. I guess fear of damage, people touching the light and whatnot. But this is the observation deck level. If I look up above my head, you can see the light, at least the bottom of the light as it stands there. Very huge light. Sailors can see this thing from 26 miles at sea, we're told. We're going to step out onto the balcony. We've been warned that the winds are 30 to 35 miles per hour on almost a daily basis. So as we step outside, we're certainly going to hang on to our hats, hang on to our camera, hang on to our water bottle, and everything else we have. There we are on the observation deck looking around. You can see a long, long way in every direction. This side, of course, is the ocean. If I turn the camera upward, you can actually see that gigantic light peering out through the windows above. But now it's time to start down the spiral staircase. 248 steps later, we'll finally arrive back at the bottom. Didn't get as tired walking down as we did walking up, of course, and didn't really stop too awfully much. The light to the outside means our adventure is pretty much over. We'll take one look out from back from outside, glance back up at the tallest lighthouse in the United States of America, and that was our Labor Day